Hi guys, so this is my second time trying to do this review. The first time was far too long, my computer wouldn't even upload it, so I very much doubt YouTube would. So, it's on The Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare. I finished this last night. Oh, well, yesterday afternoon, to be more precise. Okay, so I would give this book 4 stars. I certainly did enjoy it. Possibly more so than what I've read of the Mortal Instruments series so far. I think that this had the benefit, I suppose, of being set in the Victorian era, which is, as I've said before, it's a time period I really love reading about. So I think I preferred that more than a contemporary urban setting. Okay, so there were a lot of parallels between this and certainly characters in the Mortal Instruments series, which I think to some that could be a positive or a negative thing. For example, this character here, Will, he's a cover figure, reminded me an awful lot of Jace, which for me is a negative. I know that Jace certainly has his array of fans, but I just don't take into the kind of cocky, arrogant charm that he emits. I also don't like the fact that he blows hot and cold with Clary, and that seems to me a really emotionally manipulative thing that just keeps occurring. I know within the Mortal Instruments there's different reasons for that. In this one, Will is very much the same. It's also strongly hinted that Will would be a past relation of Jace's, so I guess it runs in the family. Just get that attitude. He was very witty, like Jace, but it's hard to appreciate his humour when he's being a bit of a dickhead. What was I going to say? Yeah, he certainly is keeping an awful lot of secrets as regarding his past and his motivations for things and his emotional states a lot of the time. So that, I guess, is interesting. It doesn't provide an excuse to me for his behaviour, but it at least lends unanswered questions that I guess I'm still investing an interest in him and seeing where he ends up. The heroine, Tessa Gray, I thought that I'd have more of a connection with her than I have with Clary, because Tessa is a bookworm and she's continually making references to things she's read, and she's quite an educated, intelligent girl. And I did like that aspect of her. It was more so just, as it almost always is in YA for me, it was more so her relationship with Will that really made me feel annoyed with her character a lot of the time. The fact that she did keep trusting to him, and that she was falling hard for him even though he was being an asshole a lot of the time. And the fact that I feel the same way I felt with Clary and Jace in the first book, in City of Bones. The relationship feels very strained, quite forced to me, and very sudden. The development of it does. So it's just, I don't know, it makes for a bit of uncomfortable reading for me. So that was my main issue with Tessa. It was her romantic interest in Will. I like that she really came into her own towards the end of the book, and she did start to take a more active role in things. I know it's a bad thing to measure a female protagonist by, but I do like to see them actually get involved if there's a physical threat and everybody else is risking their lives. I don't want them to stand stock still and let everyone else, you know, do their part. So, Bella and Megan Chase, note to you. So I like that. I like that she grew into her own powers as well, and that it led her to question a lot of things about her past and about her own, who she is innately within. So I liked all of that. I very much liked the character of Jem. He was very sweet and sensitive, and an animal lover too. Earning brownie points. That was very cute. And I found I was caring about him a lot. As always, I really like the supporting characters. I loved Charlotte. She runs the Institute in London. I really liked her. I really liked her husband, Henry. He was very cute. I liked we have an Isabel surrogate in this book as well, Jessie. I'll just call her Jessie. I quite like her too, because she provided a really interesting argument as to the real negatives, the practical negatives of being a shadow hunter, and how it takes away freedom of choice, really. and prevents you from having a normal life, which would seem really dull, I guess, in comparison, but how much you would yearn for those sort of things, as opposed to going out and fighting and risking your life all the time and being involved in all this craziness. I love that we got to see faces we're familiar with. We got to see Magnus Bane, and we also got to see Church the cat, which was excellent. I liked some of the new people we met. I really liked Camille, who was the female vampire that Magnus was on with at the time. I think she's really interesting, and I expect we'll see her in future books, so that will be good. I'm trying to rush through this. Poor London got a bad rap in this book, I feel. I know that London always has that, you know, gloomy, overcast state to its weather. It's a stereotype, and I'm sure that there's a foundation for that, but I'm sure it has sunny days, so Cassandra Clare, maybe give it some sunny days in the next book. Maybe. I do like the grittiness and the grimy feel that's always evoked when you think of London in the 19th century, because it would have been quite a disgusting place, realistically, to live in. And the clockwork creatures in the book, they were really interesting to read about, quite disturbing as well. Some of the occult practices made me shiver. What else? Yeah, I liked some of the stuff that was being explored in terms of Shadowhunter lore versus the downworlders of this period, and then how Tessa's ability would link into all of that, and how she's still got a lot of things to discover. So that was really good. So yeah, I mean, it certainly was an enjoyable read. It was more so characters and romantic relationships that pissed me off a little bit, as they almost always do. So, but I would certainly recommend it. So I'm sure almost everyone's read this anyway. So yeah, so Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare, 4 stars, and I really hope that I can upload this. Okay, so bye.